when I'm writing my thingy, but they are telling you how they operate and don't adhere to the guidance of the laws. Reason that the outcome action points from the meeting were as follows. See attached document. MM mentioned that she had not realized the impact of bereavement that she had suffered immediately before joining BIB, and that's a lie. Not me mention it, not me. Yeah? And I can go back and say why it wouldn't impact on me. My uncle was chopped up in his yard on a Sunday morning. I was pregnant the first time. My other uncle was murdered. And that resulted in my grandmother having a broken heart. My grandmother came out to put talcum powder on her son. She never came back out. Yeah? So I'm not going to read all of those. Right? So I'm just telling you, so that's a lie. I wouldn't have mentioned anything. My grandmother, the one who died of a broken heart, and my father died a month of each other in 1980. Yeah? So whatever is Dilys Ipton talking about, I do not know. And my thing is going down and I'm trying to find somewhere where I can plug it in. But it's not going to work, is it? Don't think so. Anyway, I'm going to hurry up and see if I can capture. So I'm not going to read any more of this. I'm just doing the main points. And I do the show around. Yeah? So that's what she did. Dilys Ipton Senior HR. I can't read everything. Yeah? So this is the grievance. Yeah? So one of them, yes, the grievance was about 37 pages of grievance I wrote. I write enough. I had to condense it to 1 page. The reasonable adjustment, as you can see, I think that was about 8 pages. I had to condense to 1 page. And then the employment tribunal said I did not put this, I did not put that, I did not refer to this, I did not refer to that. How do you condense an 8-page document into 1 page and get everything in? And how do you condense a 37 page into 1 page? 37 pages and get everything in? Right. So 24th of August, 2016. Good to meet with you. Thanks for sending your CV. So this is to Abawa Adibai. Good to meet you. Thanks for sending your CV. We'll be in contact as soon as I know the position. So I'm just going to go up there and show you why this is there. So I was advised when I done my training, my LSA, to do volunteering so I could train as teacher to teach adults, 16 to adults. So that was one of the projects that I done. That was other one was when I was on Sky News. That was when I was advised to use my assignments as my first whatever. As a result of HCT Group have the working partnership with Leaf, I was not allowed to do the training. So I'll show you what I took when I went for the whatever. When she said glad to meet me. That's my file of work. Yeah, this is the file. She was in shock. Yeah, and from I resigned with the second nervous breakdown. I have not had a job. I've not had a paying job. I could not even get volunteering. Right, so as I'm saying, so I'm not reading everything. I'm just showing her how I've been treated and it's not whatever. So all right, what date is that one? So this is when, as you can see, DBS, my email was used for online DBS application. Yeah, when I phoned them up, They said no, it couldn't happen. Then all of a sudden everything changed. So at all times I become the victim. Yeah? 21st of October 2015. Yeah? So alright. So this is something I responded. Martin Bunch Leaf solicitors. Yeah? So this is something I wrote to them. Because they had contacted me on the 24th of September 2015 with threats from Leaf. Yeah? And see, I mentioned about Arwin McKenna or whatever. So the person's name from Bateswells and Brathwaite is Martin Bunch. So as you can see, I can't read it because my thing is going down. I'm just putting this on record. Yeah? Right. So the next one now, to whom it may concern. So that's to DBS. Thanks for the email informing me about the withdrawal of an online DBS for leave that has been withdrawn on my behalf. I did not make that application. Yet, at court, they were saying, employment lawyers were, barrister, judge was saying it was okay. And if you read the judgment online, you'll see that they agreed. Whoever done it, it was all right. And whatever they said, I did not make that. Yeah? Because at the time I had a DBS for resources for autism. I'm working with them for years. And they let it run out and then want me to copy. Bring it for them to copy. Yet resources for autism did not accept theirs. I had to do a new one. So that's why I said no. Right. So as you can see, I just don't. I wrote up to Bateswells and Brathwaite. I wrote to DBS. And here it is. I wrote to Voice the union about the situation. All of them said it was okay. Yeah, but I know it's against the law because when I first contacted DBS, they said no, it was against the law. Right, so as you can see, I'm finishing up now. Yeah? And before I tackle this one, so in case the thing you run out, I will read this one. This is the reference. Yeah? As you can see, I was actively looking work. Yeah? And what they've done to me has crushed me with all you see, my certificates and training record and everything. 9th November 2015 to Adam Mead, NRS Recruitment. Reference for Mervyn Lee Myers. Mervyn Lee Myers was employed by Leaf as an early years practitioner from 1st September 2009 until 27 September 2015 when she resigned of her own accord during a disciplinary investigation before any disciplinary action had been considered. So that is total misconstrued. Yeah? Totally misconstrued. How can I have outcome for disciplinary and outcome for appeal and nothing was whatever? How can that be? This was unrelated to safeguarding. Why was she flagging safeguarding? During her time with Leaf, Mervyn Lee worked at several of the Leaf nurseries, the last one being New Cross. So this is what I wrote. Adam Mead was told by DE that the reference should not be shown or given to me. Obvious DE was keeping updated with her job description, same way contract not updated from I signed. Yeah? So this is a copy of the letter. I sent one to Neil King, and I sent one to Dilys Ipton, and I sent one to Alison, whoever she was that contacted me. So it was 3 of these. Yeah? Maybe you might like to reflect on my last meeting with yourself and Neil King at CO. I told you a lot. I know exactly how you operate. When I told you, Dilys Ipton, to make sure you write certain relevant information down, you were subdued and claimed you were not writing anything down. Neil King on the other one was another kettle of fish. And I had to reflect that I don't know what kind of leaf he had rolled up or smoked beforehand to get the courage to come try bully, intimidate, and harass me into writing a resignation, because that white pen that he claimed was mine was not. Then he kept on asking if I was going to write anything, and I told him when I'm in the state I was in, I am unable to write. Bracket, the evidence is in my file that's gone missing. As you can see from my chronic anxiety, I can read it for you if there's any bar left. Tremors of hand. You both said you were leaving the room for 5 minutes for me to think and came back asking if I had written anything. But what resonated with me was the way Neil King became defensive and began to confess when I raised certain issues, the union voice, etc. I guess Lee thought I would be running scared when they got their big money solicitor to get in touch. But sorry to disappoint you lot, I wasn't. I was just recouping so I could defend myself. I already had to deal with some unscrupulous individuals from all sector of society. So I know exactly what I was up against and to expect. I told Dilys at the meeting at HOC, House of Commons Nursery, about my life stories from childhood to date. But she was more interested in the negativity she heard about me from BIB. My life is an open book, and I keep my skeletons on the outside of the closet, so no one had to bother to go do the research. I believe in making life as easy as possible for myself and others. I have a copy of the few lines of reference Dilys wrote, and I'm telling you lot that I need to earn a living to provide for my basic needs. I have 6 years of service with Leaf, 5 of which I am sure I must have had made valuable contributions. If you are in doubt, I can give you access to my file that I'm keeping updated. I will end by saying Leaf have more to lose than I do, and I am also thinking of the employers who are relying on you. But if you continue with the vendetta you started when I transferred to BIB, I promise you Leaf won't be hearing the last of this. You got me out after spending a whole year of direct discrimination. You might just be interested to know that I am having my first counseling session with the professionals in a matter of days. More evidence to back up my story. Maybe I should start writing that book and submit it to collect some accolade or other. What do you think? I'm sure by now you must realize that this is not the ravings of a mad woman. I have mental health issues, but I manage them like all other deficits and limitations in my life from I was born until I went to BIB. Leaf is responsible for what happened to me from I went to BIB to push me over the edge. If you are not careful, then I might just have to tell my story to the world. Because I am a generous and forgiving person, I might just take those 5 years into consideration. But if Leaf is intent on destroying me, I can play the game with the weapons I have gathered over 6 years. Regards, Merville Myers. Just remember what Melissa Shabani said about the weapons, the armors or whatever. And I just put in here that I learned my mom's story, the 1st of January. No, the month of January 2014, and my mom died the 1st of June 2014. I nearly missed my mom's story. Yeah? So these are some of the things I have that I want to put in there. Counterterrorism. Counterterrorism as a crime prevention and holistic approach. Yeah? Behavioral sciences. So I use this a lot now. Within democratic societies, counterterrorism is almost exclusively about crime prevention. A broad and holistic approach to preventing terrorism can be based on 9 preventative mechanisms. Building normative barriers, against terrorism, reducing radicalization and recruitment, deterrence, disruption, incapacitation, protecting vulnerable targets, reducing benefits to terrorists, reducing harm and facilitating disengagement from terrorism. I am challenging and I'm asking that the UK government reinstate the petition, yeah, for an inquiry in the early years sector. Yeah, and I will end it here and just show you some of what I've been writing down, listening to podcasts and things like that. Refer to how they leave, use unprofessional, uncooperative, rude, intimidating, confrontational, aggressive, lacking empathy, months after giving me a long service award to trigger my trauma. I've still not received my file from Leave. Yeah? And Leave said they have no data. Use subject access request. Leave said they have no data. Now, who has let their mask of sanity slip? June O'Sullivan. I am going to be digging deep to find out what sort of rings was being run at London Early Years Foundation. Was pedophilia involved? You want to read the website? I got three reviews. One from the deputy manager Joyty. I know her as Joyty Bahajwal. She write the review as Joyty Sharma. Yeah? About everything. The only abuse I haven't identified in those three is sexual abuse. But how do we know? How do we know? There was a pedophile ring at a Leave. What are they covering up? What is the police covering up? What is the employment tribunal covering up? What are the judges and EAT? What are the solicitors, Bates, Wells and Brathwaite? John Fenton, who pretended to be a lawyer, Samantha Jones, Wambu Bond Dickens, all of those involved. What are they covering up? Yeah? And I'll go back to taking out whatever with the police and the IOPC. What are they covering up? Why they come to my house to murder me, to say I committed suicide. I'll end there. I was page 1 of Windows 70. Theresa May was page 2. It has got to be a reason. Get a life, get a grip. This is me. This is where I started. Yeah? This is where I started. Yeah? This is where I started to where I'm now. A shadow of my former self. That's when I first appeared in the press. I have to beg. To where I'm now a shadow of my former self. And living like I don't know what. And Leaf is getting away and operating out of House of Commons nursery. With the reviews online. With the publication by South London Press. I am going away now. But I'm not going away for good. I'm just going to recoup. Because I must honor my mother, the sacrifices that my mother had made. Yeah? When I noticed my mother hiding her thumb. And then after getting counseling, everything makes sense. Hearing her story, then getting counseling, everything makes sense. So if I did not hear my mom's story, my life would be incomplete. Yeah? And that's my ethnicity mix. Ethnicity estimate. So I'm closing it off here. And thank you, God, for keeping me. I don't know how I'm going, but I'm going. Not eating, not sleeping, but somehow I'm surviving. And I just put this in there. Although I haven't worked for 5 years, I still keep abreast of what's happening. I'm still in the know. I try to be in the know. So that's me. Goodbye. Yeah? So when did June O'Sullivan let her mask of sanity slip? Mine slipped for a little while the other day when I went down there. But they're not going to criminalize me. Who is responsible for my mask slipping? Them.